For a lot of people, texting is the #1 way to stay connected. And in this video, I'll give you a full step-by-step guide on how to use the Messages app on Android to send and receive messages. Every Android phone has the native built-in Messages app, which looks like this. You'll either find it on your home screen, which is what you see after you unlock your phone, and depending on how your phone is set up, you might have multiple pages on your home screen. Mine is down here, but yours might look different. If you can't find the Messages app on the home screen, you can swipe up and find it in your app drawer where all your apps are listed. Some phones will list the app drawer apps on separate pages like mine. Some will have a list that you scroll up and down vertically. If you struggle to find an app, just use the search and type Messages and it'll show up. Once you open the app, it'll look like this, showing all your conversations. Or it might be empty if you're using it for the first time. You can tap any conversation to view the messages in it, or if you'd like to start a new conversation, you can tap the blue speech bubble on the bottom right corner. I'll tap that to start a new chat, and then I can either choose a person from my contacts list, or you could just type a phone number here. You can also create a group chat if you want to text with multiple people in the same conversation. I'll start a chat with my buddy Ryan, and it'll look like this. On the top, you'll see your contacts information, and you'll see shortcuts for calling them and adding more people to the conversation. To send a message, you'll first tap the text input field that says RCS message, or sometimes it'll say SMS message. RCS stands for Rich Communication Services, and it's the modern upgrade to traditional SMS texting, bringing features like read receipts, typing indicators, high-resolution media sharing, and larger group chats. Texting itself is super easy. You'll type a message and then tap the little paper airplane icon to send it. And because Ryan is actually just my second phone, I'm going to reach for it and write a quick response. You'll see a small typing indicator appear on my screen showing that the other person is typing a response. And once they send their message, you'll see it on the left side of your screen. My phone is actually giving me some suggested responses to his message, and I could tap one of those responses to send it out, or just write another message to him. And besides writing messages, you can also react to them. I can, for example, double tap his message, and it'll send a nice little thumbs up showing that I liked his response. You can react to text messages, but also to photos and videos if your friend sends you those. Another way to react to messages is to long press the message, and you can choose from a list of emojis. This is kind of a nice way to bring some color to your conversation. You can also tap the little smiley face button on your keyboard to send emojis. The emoji button is available on the bottom of your keyboard, but also next to the text input field, and you can use either one. Another button next to the text input field is the photo button. This opens a photo view, which allows you to either capture a photo right there on the spot or use the bottom of your screen to browse your gallery and pick an existing photo. Another way to send photos would be to tap the plus icon to the left of your text input field. You'll see a menu open up that allows you to share photos from your gallery, share your location, share files, all kinds of stuff. I want to send a photo, so I'll tap Gallery and then find something from my gallery that I want to share. I'll pick a photo, and then I can write a caption, or just send the photo itself without text. Either way works. Another cool trick in the Messages app is the ability to send audio messages. If I tap and hold this little waveform button on the right side of my screen, it allows me to talk to the phone and record an audio message. Just keep holding the button while you talk, and then release when you're done. This can be handy if you're sending a long message and don't want to type it out, or if you're on the go and typing is difficult. And I think those are pretty much the main features in the Messages app. You can use the arrow in the top left corner to go back to your conversation page, and if you have a lot of conversations, you can long press any conversation and then tap the little pin icon to pin it to the top of your Messages app. That way the conversation always stays on top and doesn't get buried if you get a lot of messages. Long pressing a conversation also allows you to delete and archive conversations. And that's how you use the Messages app. It's super easy once you get used to it. Click that like button below if this helped and subscribe for more. Thanks all.